Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 2 of the Exobro. I'm your host, Adama Anderson. First off, I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who listened to our first episode. We truly are amazed at the response we received. We have received amazing feedback and are working to improve your listening experience. In this episode, I will insert the segment of the podcast from our first episode that was my introduction that I snipped to make a shorter episode. And with your feedback, I'm reinserting it back so you know who I am. After that segment, you're going to hear from Justin Page and I as we took some time during our recent plane spotting trip in Los Angeles to talk about how we got there. Additionally, you're going to hear about my emotions as I took my final flight on the E4B after 4 years of flying. Finally, we will conclude with a rapid fire segment where we chat about random aviation topics, including some recent aviation news. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. All right, well, let me go ahead and introduce myself a little bit. I'm Adama Anderson. You can reach me on my social media platform on Instagram, photography by Adama D. Yeah, that kind of rhymes, right? Um, yeah, so what got me into aviation was, well, I'm currently in the Air Force. I literally I'm going to hit my 20-year mark in July, and I'm going to retire, thankfully. Yeah. Clap, clap, clap. Yeah. Thank you. Ooh, ah. Oh,
Ooh,
fancy. Yeah. So before then, I was always in aviation, but even in high school when I joined Air Force, JROTC, whatever. But yeah, so I've been in 20 years in the Air Force. I have obviously go to Air Force bases. I've done a stint in Kandahar. I did a stint in Baghdad. And when I was actually at Baghdad International Airport, I have seen multiple aircraft there. That was kind of cool. You see a lot of things, obviously, when you're in the military, seeing A-10s coming back, smoking guns, or you uh, in Baghdad going to see like an Ilyushin 76 or the Antonov 124 or 225. I've seen both. Rest in peace. That
oh,
225.
sad. Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been in the Air Force again for 20 years, so I've just been around aircraft the whole time, and I absolutely love aviation. So I didn't really get into plane spotting until about 3 years ago, 4 years ago, right before COVID kicked off. Um,
Ugh, COVID.
yeah,
Right.
we're not gonna talk about that. But yeah, like, and I think so. That's what got me into plane spotting was actually doing it. And every time I was at an airport in Europe, um, you sometimes get to walk up to the aircraft, and I think like I would always take pictures of the aircraft. I remember one time getting on a EasyJet, and it was the tail number was G dash Jesus, and I was like, oh, I'm getting on Jesus today. Like, so I think that was like my first memory of actually remembering an aircraft specifically.
Speaking of religious experiences, right?
Right. Definitely, yeah. I think I went to Pula, Croatia from there. Um, so yeah, so I've been in aviation for 20 years, obviously, and I mean, we all know, you two know that I work on the E4B, which is a modified 747. It's been around forever, and I've been doing it for the last 4 years. Absolutely love that aircraft. So obviously, my favorite aircraft is a 747 as well, Paige. And I think one of the things that I like to talk about when it comes to AKA the Doomsday plane is you on a commercial aircraft, you experience a little bit of turbulence, right?
Oh
Like
yeah.
it's just the aircraft trying to correct itself. It's on autopilot. It hits, summertime is happening, so it's obviously going to happen a lot with the rise of the heat from the earth, the thermals, I think they call it.
Yeah.
Um, but try being on a 747, okay,
Would
and
love to try.
try.
Me too. I've never even been on one as a commercial
uh,
airline or like.
I think I've done it through Air France and Lufthansa.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Anyway, you were saying?
Yeah, I was trying to
Right.
say, so when you air refuel, we have air refueling capability. Uh, Try being in the back of that aircraft for 30 minutes to an hour. every time we tend to have somebody get sick the whole time. I try to explain to people like when you do air refueling, think of the aircraft as a pencil and it's moving. All right. So if you've ever done that when you were young, you see when you move the
Like the
pencil.
wavy line that it
Yeah,
Yeah.
creates.
yeah. So you see
Hmm.
at the very end of the pencil, you see it's really going up and down, but in the very front, it's kind of stable a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't feel as much. Be on the back of that aircraft, 747. God, people get sick all the time.
How about yourself? Have you gotten sick?
I actually haven't. I've
What?
got a few tricks that I try to do. Some of us will we'll take a little bit of candy beforehand. We actually usually we like to tell people actually eat a little bit of food beforehand. I know it sounds crazy, right? Because usually,
Right.
like the whole pool thing, like, right?
Yeah.
Don't go swimming in the pool 30 minutes
If you're gonna
after,
get sick, please have a meal beforehand.
um,
Right.
but yeah, so what I'll do is I'll take a little bit of candy sometimes, or eat a sandwich or something. Have something in my stomach, and the thing also with the aircraft is some of our seats they rotate 360 degrees,
Oh God.
or they rotate kind of to almost lie flat. And so with that capability, it's easier to find a better spot in the aircraft.
Yeah.
That's great.
So yeah, so that's why I'm in the aviation world and being on the doomsday plane.
Real
Uh,
quick, uh, forgive me if I'm wrong. Do you like it when people call it doomsday plane or not?
we love it. I mean,
Couldn't
yeah,
remember
like
if you did or not. I couldn't remember if you were one of those that said it's not the doomsday plane. It's so whatever. It's whatever. It's the
uh,
E4B. Like, do you
it's the
prefer one or the other?
E4B, right?
For some
Yeah.
reason,
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if you like if someone said, "Oh, you work on the doomsday plane," slap to the face kind of thing. I didn't know if it was like that.
Nah, nah, nah. Yeah. No, yeah. I don't think anybody has a problem with it being called the doomsday plane. We know it exists. Everybody knows it exists. It's funny when you see things that people post on like TikTok or like on Instagram or even uh, Twitter because they think they know what this plane does, or they try to create that it's really the doomsday plane.
Right.
It's always airborne. Look at Flight Radar 24. Like
I
it's
think
just
Did you know that plane has never landed once?
never.
I think my favorite was when someone created, I think it was a TikTok that said, anytime the E4B takes off, we are all gonna
Yeah, yeah.
The
die.
reverse of an angel gets its wings kind
I
of thing.
yeah.
Right.
That's why I specifically go, okay, all right. That's why I love social media because
Right. It's
it's so
amusing.
hilarious.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's what I've heard. It's never landed.
Hello, guys. Welcome to the Exit Row, being recorded live here at the H Hotel overlooking LAX. We can literally see the pillars of the LAX airport with the good old LAX sign right here in the corner of my hotel here.
And we can see the planes.
Yes, planes for days. Welcome, Justin. Welcome.
Hey, what's up?
Hey,
Hey.
let's talk about how we got here.
It's a deep question.
Yeah.
At least
Not,
for me it is.
Not from the very beginning of time. Let's talk
Oh,
about how
right,
we
right.
all got to
How
the
did
Los
we get here?
Angeles Airport, LAX. Go ahead. Well, first off, I'll go ahead and I was the first one that got here. So
True. It wasn't a race though, but you did win.
That's true. That's
I
true.
did win here. I got here first. I literally got off my alert, my final alert with the E4B. So let's go ahead and talk about that. Yeah. Thank you guys. I ended up with about, I think it's over 300 sorties or flights with the E4B.
I'm sorry, sorties?
Sorties. So anytime in the military, you take off and you land. That's called a sortie.
I did not know that.
Noted.
There you go. In
Interesting.
fact, if you go to Bellevue, there's a tavern there that was on that Bar Rescue.
Oh yeah, I knew about that.
Near base housing. That used to be called. It used to be some St. Patrick's pub or something like that, and turned into Sortie's Tavern, which again.
Oh,
is named after
okay.
The Air Force Base, Offutt Air Force Base.
So now I can flex that to my friends when they ask, "Oh, I wonder what that's named after." I got you.
There you go, Peg.
Yeah, sure. That's a flex, I guess.
300 sorties, over 850 hours on the E4B.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
And the mileage, well, there's no mileage plan for E4B, so I just have that for that. But yeah, so I got done with that. I will end up retiring on September 1st. So I only have about 2.5 more months left in the Air Force, but I'm done with my mission on the E4B, which is kind of bittersweet because it's the fact that I'm never ever going to be flying that aircraft ever again.
Yeah, such a big part of your life for so long.
Just knowing that, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Welcome to the rest of us now, just having to watch it.
And it's crazy too because that was my office. So some people, their office is an actual.
You
Yeah.
mean like an actual 4-wall office as myself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a cubicle or your home, your personal computer home. That was my office. So now I'm going to be officeless. I don't have a flying office anymore. So I ended up getting off of alert, and that was fun for your final flight. Just kind of like how a pilot has their wet down, or they have
the water cannon salute for their
Yeah.
final flight. Yeah.
For your final flight.
I was gonna say, like, was it known that it was your final flight to others?
It was.
Okay.
It was. And I also, our tradition that we have is that you end up having water sprayed at you.
Like literally, physically with a hose?
Literally, yeah.
Interesting.
So.
Like a hazing, in a way.
You can't call it hazing though, because it's not hazing because we don't do that anymore.
Like they go in the back, give you a swirly.
Yeah. No, we don't do that anymore. But yeah, so hosed me down with water. My mother came out and my sister. They both hosed me down, and got to say thank you to all of my military, my team, up Team 3, the Red Dogs.
Was it emotional?
Yeah, it was. I didn't show it because I had my sunglasses on, but I did have like a tear. It's just.
That means you cared about it. That means you cared about it.
Yeah, and it's my team. This is one of those jobs in the military where you have everybody is together from all the military branches, minus the Space Force. We don't have that yet. I assume we'll have that in the future. We actually had some airmen in the back who are part of the Space Force, but not in the area that my part of the team in the battle staff. So yeah, it was emotional, and
I bet
it's also time to call it quits. So, and I'm ready to retire from the Air Force after 20 years. I'm okay with that. So yeah.
At least you have peace with it, right?
Well, yeah. And I have my wings now, and I ended up doing 4 years of my military career not behind a cubicle. I did actually do the aviation part of the Air Force. And in my career, the emergency actions, command post controllers, we only have 2 jobs, if I'm correct. We only have 2 jobs where you can do the aviation part of our career. It's STRATCOM's Looking Glass. They're at Offutt as well, or the National Airborne Operations Center, the E4B.
Which is what you're a part of.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that part is over in my life.
Another round of applause, honestly. That's good stuff.
Thanks, guys.
I remember when I first met you, and you said you worked on the E4B, and I was like, yeah, I'm sure. Right. And then later on, I was like, oh my God.
Like, that's cap, but yeah.
Well, yeah.
Because every time I see it fly by, I wave, and I go, hi, Adama.
I appreciate that. No, you can't do that anymore. You say, hi.
I still will, but
right.
I'll still look just as crazy to the people on the ground as I did before.
Well, and the great thing about like that aircraft is it's so recognizable, but a lot of people think it's Air Force One.
Yeah, so they do.
It's not.
It's not.
Yeah, I help run a huge 747 page on Facebook, and everybody calls it Air Force One. I'm like, nope, try again.
It'll be. I think we might have an E4B podcast in the future. Just all things E4B, all the questions that people have questions about and whatnot. Because there's so many weird things that you hear on TikTok and
oh
people post,
God,
and I just go, wow, you guys are idiots, but that's
what TikTok's for,
right? So yeah, back to how did I get here? How we got to Los Angeles? Yeah, I took. What was it, Thursday?
You took a plane?
I took a plane.
Wow.
Yeah. Thank you. I took a little Embraer 175 up to Salt Lake City. And when I got to Salt Lake City, I literally had a 30-minute turnover there, or layover. And if you don't know about Salt Lake City right now, they have a lot of construction.
Ooh.
And so this one, they parked us all the way at the very end, of course.
Oh God. That's how it always is.
Had to get on a bus. Took the bus. Had to get it all the way over to the walking terminal up to the Bravo concourse. Even though they said we were like A58, which didn't make sense. And it was the very edge of the Bravo terminal, so I had to walk all the way to the tunnel that goes underneath the airport, or under one of the
Which is a
taxiways.
long walk.
It's a very long
Oh,
walk.
wow.
Every time I've been to Salt Lake City, there's always been a lot of walking involved.
It sucks. It does. But I ended up getting to the gate with about 2 minutes left. Like literally, they were ready to start pre-boarding. They did their pre-announcements and whatnot, and I went ahead and just waited for the 2 minutes, and boom, got on. Got to take an A321neo
Oh,
Delta.
jealous.
Over here to Los Angeles, and I will say it was a beautiful, wonderful experience. And just they've got this overhead light fixture that's pretty cool. It's like
Yeah, on the ceiling of the Neo. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's pretty neat. And entertainment wasn't bad. My charger worked, so that's nice. Sometimes I have those issues.
Yeah.
All right.
You got to charge your stuff.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so got here. By the way, landing in Salt Lake City, I should have said it was raining, so that was interesting. But then when we took off, the sun had come out, so it was pretty neat.
I mean, Salt Lake City that airport is in a very beautiful part of the city.
It's beautiful. The mountains surrounding it and whatnot. And some of the plane spotters I've seen have some really good.
Yes.
Summer or winter up there. It's so scenic.
It really is.
And there was snow up on the mountains too, so it was pretty cool.
Oh, that's
a little
Absolutely.
snow, but not much.
Yeah.
So yeah, I ended up here at Los Angeles at like 12 o'clock, and it was the busiest day in aviation here in the United States. That's what the FAA said. It was
Yep.
going to be the busiest day, and it sure was. Lots of traffic. I missed the shuttle the first go around. And here at LAX, I don't understand the 3 different layers and all the traffic. There's just so much traffic.
Yeah.
Always.
There's never not traffic.
Yeah, so then I got here, and then Paige, you arrived the following day, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that was.
That's a yes or no question, I think, but sure.
What's your experience?
Well, my experience was a little bit different.
Here we go again.
Well, I flew Southwest, my BB, my airline. And so I get to Omaha and everything's all right, get through TSA. I didn't get clapped this time going through TSA, so
Wow.
right, good for me. That's a rarity. I get through TSA and I get like a 20-minute delay. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then I get my pre-flight beer. I sit down, hour and a half delay, and I'm thinking it must be the runway construction. And then there was a United flight that had boarded already on its way to Denver, and I see everyone coming off. I'm like, oh boy. And a couple of them came and sat by me, and they were like, oh, it's weather. All the planes are like in a holding pattern. So we finally take off an hour and a half later, and we had to get majorly rerouted on our flight there because of weather in our descent path. So it added about 20 minutes to our flight. And then I get into Denver, and my flight out of Denver was also delayed by an hour and 20 minutes. And as I was getting ready to board, there was fierce lightning everywhere. I mean, lightning.
Is this different than normal lightning?
Yes. I mean, and maybe it was just because there's so much glass in that terminal. As I said, favorite airport, it's beautiful. But maybe it just magnified the lightning because it just flashes everywhere and downpouring. I'm like, I'm not going to get out of here. But we powered through. We got in the plane and it was pouring rain. And when we got out, and so I think I had about 3 hours of delays total. I was supposed to get into LA at 10:30, I believe. And I got in closer to about 12:30 a.m.
So via Southwest, you're on schedule, right? Kidding.
Yeah, I mean, based on some of the trends lately, a little bit, but I also kind of, you know, blame the weather as well because it was terrible, crazy weather there in
Yeah, it's
Denver.
100% because of the weather. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean it is, but
So I remember you told me that you had a Karen.
I did. I had a Karen when
You worked the Karen.
I was not. No, I do not have Karen vibes, but I was.
That's what Karens say about themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're different. This girl though, she went to the counter and she was on
Where
my
are you?
flight
Explain where you are.
right by the counter, just
But like Denver, LAX,
Denver,
Omaha.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I was sitting right there kind of by the counter and she went up to the lady, was on my side, so she was on my flight. And I couldn't hear exactly what she was saying, but she was like banging her hands down, throwing her hands everywhere, just crazy. And I could see the customer service agent was trying to say something to her, like I'm sorry, and then another guy missed his flight, and yeah, it got crazy there.
So yeah, being a Karen for the weather.
Yeah,
She probably just assumes they have a reserve of planes that are just ready to go. You know?
right. Just knows nothing about aviation.
Okay. All right. So you had your Karen moment. My
I
mic is
did.
acting weird. All right. So you had your Karen moment, and you're back here at LAX.
I made it here after a very long day. I think I got to the airport. Well, they said to get to the airport 2 hours early because of crazy TSA lines and whatnot. And then I ended up being at the airport Omaha airport for, oh, I would have to say almost 4 hours once I got hit with the delay. And so I got there at about 3:30, and then I got to LAX at 12:30 a.m., which in Omaha time was 2:30 a.m. So
It's a long day.
almost 12 hours of traveling. Yeah.
4 hours at the Omaha airport sounds terrible.
Yeah, I had my pre-flight drink and snacks and just I powered through. I made it though.
Look at the Alaska Pier or whatever, the Pixar Pier.
Oh, it's
Look at
back?
that, it's right there.
Oh. And you know what I also just saw? The Alaska wearing sunscreen.
I just saw that. What do you mean sunscreen? What did?
Oh, let's just talk about it.
No, just tell people real quick because Justin still needs to introduce himself.
He does.
Oh,
That's
fine.
true. That's true.
Paige has plenty of time.
No, I will
It's
say this
all
very
about
quickly.
Paige.
You know what? I'll just say this very quickly. The Alaska sunscreen has a white nose cap, so it's a wardrobe malfunction.
Okay.
Just wearing sunscreen.
So it's got sunscreen.
Yeah.
Okay. Paige, your time is up. Justin.
Okay, go, Justin.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I still a part of this? Right. Kidding. Love your stories, Paige. My story, I mean, honestly, compared to you guys, mine was pretty seamless. I flew American, Omaha to Phoenix, then Phoenix to LAX. So Omaha to Phoenix was a 23-year-old A320, and then a bit of a culture shock, went to a 3-year-old A321neo, which I've flown the neo several times, but I went out of my way to book this flight just so I could fly it again. Because Omaha does have a nonstop on American from Omaha to LAX.
And that's on what?
An Embraer.
Yeah.
An E-Jet. It's a long flight in an E-Jet.
Absolutely.
But
yeah.
I mean, it's also nonstop, so you do what you got to do.
True.
But I did lay over in Phoenix for 3 hours just for this neo flight. So did a lot of walking around. Phoenix is a good airport to lay over at, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
If you have to. But other than that, my travel was very seamless. Everything went according to plan. Got in on schedule. Perfect. Good flights.
And Phoenix, I saw in your storyline, has the best airport
Yes,
name.
absolutely. In my opinion,
Yes.
I don't think I'm alone here, but I do believe Phoenix has the best airport name. Phoenix Sky Harbor.
Sky Harbor.
I completely agree.
It's the coolest name ever.
It really is.
However, we did have that discussion in the last podcast about how it's one of the 10 worst.
Oh,
airports.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Don't know. Remember, it's a bunch of Karens and Kevins on Twitter. So
Yeah, exactly. Consider the
Those
source.
people don't care about the name of the airport.
so.
No, they don't.
But
Okay.
yeah, Sky Harbor is the best.
Yeah.
All right, so we're here at LAX. We have a few.
Shout out to the H Hotel real quick, because literally we were recording this room at the H Hotel in the corner room. If you're ever coming to LA, honestly, this is the hotel to stay at.
Absolutely.
And oh yeah, the aviation live videos or
Airline videos.
Airline Videos Live.
sorry.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Yeah, they were here.
Live stream legends.
Happened to get here, watch them record for 24 hours. I wasn't there for 24 hours, but I also didn't want to bother them.
Yeah.
Because they're busy.
Although if you do in the future, if you do see them recording it, you can go up to them. They'll give you free merch.
Things I wish I knew.
Right?
I like free stuff.
Same.
Hey, I'm here for the knowledge.
There we go. Hey, so what aircraft are we looking to see here? I know that Paige and I've seen 2 days worth of airplanes. Paige, you've seen 1 day so far.
Yep.
Any aircraft we're specifically looking for, or anything that we?
I mean, honestly, for all the times I've come out here, I just come out here for the variety. And
Yes.
honestly, I think LAX has some of the best variety, not only just aircraft wise, but airline wise.
Yes.
But
I
honestly,
agree.
I'm into all heavies. I mean, luckily they've got 4 A380s now that come in daily. Versus,
Oof.
during the pandemic, it was just 1 or 2, I think, for a time being. But slowly but surely, the world's coming back around.
Yep.
But I always come out here. A380s are always great to see. Whether or not I think it's attractive aircraft or not, it never gets old seeing the A380.
For me, it's
So
all
true.
747s here. You don't
So
get
much,
that at F1.
yeah.
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you only get the A4B, right? The president's plane.
Air Force One.
Air Force One. Yeah, so for me, it's all the 747s that come in here.
And there's so much like rare cargo movement that you only see it like maybe possibly Anchorage, places in the U.S. I'm referring
Yes,
to.
absolutely.
There's so many cargo movements here that you can only catch at LAX, maybe places like Anchorage and maybe O'Hare and Atlanta. But there's just so many rare airlines that I don't think people even
Yes.
realize.
Yes.
I agree.
So it's beautiful. Oh, and you see the MD-11 here too once in a while.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, with FedEx for sure.
We saw what was it? Western Global.
Western Global also had one too.
Yeah, they fly the 747 and I believe the MD in here.
Yeah. Beautiful stuff. All right, so that's that for the LAX portion of our podcast. All right, guys, welcome back. New topic. We're going to start this segment. It's going to be a rapid fire discussion about all sorts of little topics that
Pew pew.
we have. So, first topic I wanted to discuss with you two is let's talk about the new JetBlue livery.
I
What do you
love
guys think
it.
about it?
Absolutely love it.
Justin.
I'm into it. I'm pro new JetBlue livery.
Pro
Same.
JetBlue.
You know what I really like is the mint green winglets.
That's exactly for me. It's those little details. It's
Yeah.
a good point.
Yeah, so this is their mint class or their mint.
Yeah, it's like their mint livery. So I guess that's my
Yeah.
question going forward. Is it going to be on all the new A321s that come out, or is it just the one?
I thought it was going to be on all the planes.
That's the question.
And
I
then
think-
the tail, because it's blue, but it also has those designs on the tail. So I was thinking that they would just have different tail designs, but keep the blue for all the planes.
It's possible. I don't know.
However,
However,
Adama,
I specifically don't like it.
Yeah, what the heck?
So I mean, I
what's wrong with you, man?
Right. What is going on here?
all right. So yeah,
I thought you were cool, dude.
Yeah, what the heck?
It's beautiful. Okay, I'll give
Uh,
you that a little bit.
We're getting
But
some mixed emotions
here's the
going on
problem.
here.
I'm sorry you hate it, but I
Mixed
love
mixed signals.
Southwest has a bluish color, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you have Breeze, and then you have ETA. We're going on a trend of all blue here.
We're in a blue trend right now, that's for sure.
I don't like it.
You
But
don't,
you don't
like it.
You're saying you don't like it because there's too much, or you don't like the blue?
Yeah, but there's just too much blue. And
You're saying it was unique and now it's not unique anymore. Is what you're
Correct.
getting at?
Yes,
Southwest is the OG though.
they are. They are. I think ETA does it better with their lighter.
Well, they're both.
I do like the
they're-
lighter
They're
blue, but
literally
they-
different colors at the end of the day. Yes, the blue umbrella, but they're literally different shades of blue. But yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think Southwest started a blue trend, but I think it started with ETA when everyone started coming out with new,
Right.
schemes.
Right. And what I love about the ETA one is, so it's kind of like KLM. Well, not KLM. Holland. Their actual color is orange, even though their flag is like red, white, and blue.
Right.
Same with Italy. Italy, it's red, white, and green. Yeah, it's red, white, and green. However, their national color is blue. So
That makes
when
sense.
they go to the
Interesting.
World Cup, they wear blue jerseys. They're the Azzurri or Azzurro. Yeah.
But the ETA livery, I've Until I saw it up closely, when it hits the light just right, it's got those designs in the tail.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
Right. It makes you think about, little Dolce & Gabbana.
It's like a Gucci bag walking around, right?
There you go.
That's true.
So yeah, I personally don't like it. I think it's
You're referring to the JetBlue livery,
the
real quick.
JetBlue.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Real quick,
I
you
love
do
the
like the
ITA.
ITA livery.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Yep.
The JetBlue. I'm like, come on, guys.
But I think there should be more very vibrant planes. Like, why isn't there hot pink or lime green or something like
A hot pink
it,
plane would be sweet, by the way.
right?
I mean, I did see. I think you saw too that little wheels up.
Yes.
350.
Yeah, I got a picture of
Oh,
that.
it's like
and
a
it's
it's like a
beautiful.
breast cancer one. I want to say
Yeah.
that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one arrived here yesterday or 2 days ago and took off yesterday.
That
So-
actually came through Omaha. That's what I thought you were
Yeah.
referring to. Yeah.
Well, and then there's the purple one. Which
Riyadh Air, the
Riyadh,
new
yeah,
one?
purple. There needs to be more purple too.
No, that one's
That's like a
beautiful.
deep purple too, by the way.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
Looks different at like certain times of day. That's what I like about it.
I mean, it pops, but I just don't want to talk about JetBlue anymore.
All right, then let's
They're
not.
terrible.
Moving on. This was supposed to be rapid fire, so
There
done.
we go, rapid fire. All right, next. Okay, we're back after a little technical difficulty. We need some better equipment, so we'll get there.
Randall, we're looking at you.
There you go. All right, so next we're going to talk about the Chinese Comac C919. Now, the U.S. government, or not U.S. government, the United States, we have Boeing, obviously, who makes aircraft. The European Union, I think France.
There is some Airbus made in the United States as well.
That is true. Yep.
Oh yeah.
The A220, I think, is down
Made
there
in
Montgomery.
Mobile, Alabama.
Yeah. Good old Alabama. Yeah. So China has now entered the game. They have the.
What took them so long, right?
Right.
Took them like 20 years, I think. But yeah. So they have this aircraft. China Eastern is flying them now, correct?
China Eastern, correct.
Mm-hmm.
And they have their first passenger service about 2-3 weeks ago. They are now bringing a second one in, I believe, sometime this week or next week, or it's doing the flying it needs to do the testing and all that.
Test flights, yeah.
To get through it. So
Getting certified.
China now has passenger service planes. What do you guys think about it?
It's kind of like I remember when Russia had a plane that was equal to that kind of, and they still do, but they have their certain that are just strictly Russian-made planes. My opinion is it's kind of weird. I feel like if there's going to be, not that there's going to be any aviation disaster anytime soon, but if there is one, don't be surprised if it's on that plane.
Please, China, don't hack us. So yeah, the C919.
It's a knockoff A220.
Yeah, it's a Wish.com A220.
Wish.com A220. It's interesting for sure. China is now entering the business, and another fun fact about it, it's like half of it's actually made in China. It's not.
Heck, everything we're using right now is made in China.
Right.
Yeah.
The clothes I'm wearing were made in China.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. China owns everything, unfortunately.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, so Comac C919, I don't think it's going to be in the American airspace anytime soon.
Well, it's a regional aircraft for right now, but yeah.
For now,
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see where Comac and the company will go in the future.
Yeah.
So, however, I think it's awesome to see aviation, see a company succeed in flying. and
Yeah,
work down
for
the
Oh yeah,
sure.
because
road
I mean,
in there.
if you're willing to take on Boeing and Airbus and actually be able to, I mean, you're doing something right.
I
Yeah.
think so. I think it's awesome. Good for them.
I might not like who's doing it, but I'm in favor of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's get more planes out there. All right. So, talked about Chinese Comac C919. Let's talk about. Well, we really just talked about this recently, and I didn't record it. Let's talk about United.
Okay.
All right. So we literally just talked about how they have 2-3 different liveries.
Oh, yeah. Evil blue all the way.
Evo Blue.
Yeah, I'm Evo Blue. I like them all. I do. The
Ugh.
Continental ones hold a place in my heart. I think the Continental one, the so-called Continental one, the old tulip, the globe. That one, I think that looks good on the Dreamliners, but that's the only one I'm cool with it on. I like it on the Dreamliners.
See, I actually wish that United had more retros, like the tulip and Some of
Dude,
the ones in like early
preach.
2000s and stuff like
Oh,
that.
like literally bring back one of the TED planes, please.
TED planes. Yeah, you showed me this morning the TED
No,
airplanes.
they literally had regional aircraft that were called TED.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I just didn't remember the livery with the tulip.
Yeah, no, the tulip is. I mean, they had so many variations of the tulip, and I think they're all great. I would love to
Oh
see a
yeah,
couple more.
all the
They have such a
tulips.
large fleet. I think it'd be, why not bring a couple of them back?
Right.
Kind of like with American, I would love to see them bring back an all chrome one on the 777. Do you guys remember when that was rumored like a while back?
Yes,
There
I
was rumors of
remember
it coming back on a
that.
777-200, and it just never came.
There's so much rumors. I wish they
Yeah.
would come to fruition. Like here we go. Like we're looking at United right now with the old Continental. I hate it.
Yeah, same.
I am a
You hate it.
Continental.
I do
You
not
not
like
just
it at
dislike
all.
it. Wow.
Here we go again. Like
I mean, I don't hate any livery. I'm just gonna be honest, but I dislike some. But like, I don't mind it. I like it.
just get yourself together. That's all I'm saying. If you want Continental, then keep Continental. If you want the new Evo Blue, then make every aircraft.
It was
Evo
weird
Blue
because
all the way.
when Evo Blue started to come out, I just assumed like all aircraft were going to transition to it. But it's been so long now, where clearly, because
Right.
they have new Maxes coming out of the factory that are still painted in that new, like the wavy kind of hybrid of the two, if you will.
The hybrid isn't so bad. I can tolerate that. For
What's
sure.
funny is that like literally besides a wavy line, it's the same thing as the Continental one. But yet you hate the Continental one. But if you had a
There's
wavy
some-
line to it, you're into it.
There's something different about it though.
I get it. Hey,
I
I
don't
hear you.
know.
Like I look at it like Southwest. Southwest right now is getting rid of all their Canyon Blue.
That's a mistake.
Yep.
But I isn't. I feel like they need to just keep one or two in their fleet as Canyon Blue as specials.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They do have the Max that's in the Canyon Blue Retro library.
They do, and so because of that,
Livery.
they need to remove it.
Remove all
Remove-
of them.
Yes.
You're saying
Yeah.
that should be the only one.
Yes.
So there's more of a special, unique factor to it.
Correct.
Yeah.
I can get on board with that, but at the same time, I'd be fine if they went to the whole fleet back to Canyon Blue and kept one of the new ones as a special.
I'm not opposed to that either.
Basically, what I'm saying is do the reverse of what you just said, right?
So United, for me, just get yourself together. Just like either be one or the other. Don't be.
So if they went all
Right.
Continental, so you're saying just get yourself together. So if they went all Continental style,
then you know what? I'll be okay with that.
you're just saying just make up your mind.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I
gotcha.
would rather them have all Evo Blue.
I prefer that.
Oh yeah, at the end of the day, cool. I will say, I think the Uvo Blue, it grew on me. I remember when it first came out, kind of like Ita. When that all blue came out, I wasn't quite sure about it,
Most people-
but it grew on me as time went on.
Hey, today the eats will be a white one. That born to.
Oh, the cheese stick.
Oh.
People refer to that as the
Cheese
cheese stick.
I've never heard of that.
All right. So next, great discussion topic here.
Oh,
So right now,
Oh yeah.
there's a thing going on in America, probably all over the world, really. Let's talk about it. So, who is at fault? All right.
not me.
Not me. All
What
right.
are you
Not
talking about
me.
again? I'm sorry.
Here we go. So here you are. You're on your aircraft. You're on a 3-hour flight, whatnot. You're ready to get some sleep. So you use your use the seat back, the table,
The tray table,
that
yeah.
comes down. So you're using that to lay your head down, or you're there watching in-flight entertainment because you don't have a screen. So you bring out your iPad and you put your iPad out. Next thing you know, somebody's crushing your iPad.
By putting their seat back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Putting their seat back. Who's at fault?
Very abruptly, by the way. It never happens slowly and casually. It's always bam.
Right.
Right.
It's never just a nice slow, recline. It's always
There's-
just bam. All of a sudden they're there.
There's just no warning.
So do you think that person who's putting the seat back is at fault, or do you think the person who's
That's
just
a
like
tricky
Well, I
one.
guess who else can be
themselves-
at fault besides the person reclining? The airline? We blaming the airline
Right.
here who made the seats?
Well, some people think that.
I'm just trying to clarify here because clearly the person that's being there's only a couple options here, right?
Like who is
Yeah.
at fault? Is it the airline or is it the person? Obviously, we don't have anything in place that says, "Hey, let's be polite and tell the person behind you," which I think you should. Hey, I'm about to put my seat back.
Right, there should-
I know you might not.
God,
like
the
it.
world would be a great place if people like that actually existed all around.
Right.
There
It's
should
not-
just be a standard for that before every flight. Like you said, the flight attendant saying, if you plan to put your seat back, make sure the person behind you doesn't have anything significant on their tray table and let them know, a little bit ahead of time.
Yeah, just give a warning.
In a perfect world, yes, that would be awesome.
But
Yeah,
the thing is, like, you still want to be able to recline, right? It's still your
exactly.
right if you have that opportunity.
I have a right to recline.
Oh yeah. You know, so like that's why like Ryanair and EasyJet, you can't recline your seats. You won't ever run into that.
Yeah.
So maybe
Like I was kind of mentioning to you guys earlier, what if like, like Paige mentioned, some sort of warning system, like if you are choosing to recline, it's kind of like hitting a button on your chair, and so then that button then triggers a light on the backside of that plane facing the person in back of you, saying, "Hey, you got 30 seconds to get ready before this guy reclines." Like something like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some sort of warning system, even if that person's asleep, something that at least tells me that you're coming here.
That wouldn't be so bad.
Something.
we
It's
need
either
to-
that
Yeah.
or lose the option completely, right?
right? And I think most of us want to still put our seats back. So
Yeah.
just be kind. Let the person behind you know.
PSA out there. Just turn around and be like, "Hey, what's up? I'm about to come back."
Right? And then don't be that jerk that's like, no, don't get in my space. Well, the seats are able to recline.
At least
Right.
you warned him,
Yeah.
even if he doesn't want it or not.
All right. So I think that's it for our rapid fire discussion. Thank you for listening to episode 2 of the Exit Row. I do apologize for my low vocals on this episode. We're still learning everything on how to record, and we have solutions and expect better audio and an improvement in the next episode coming out on July 5th. If you happen to like the show, please like and subscribe on your favorite platform. Please share with your friends, family members, and pets. Also, give us a rating if you really enjoy the show. It definitely goes a long way. Please feel free to provide us feedback via our social media platforms. You can like us on Facebook and add us on Instagram at the Exit Row Pod. Finally, I would like to give a shout out to my friend and coworker, Joe Russell. He has a podcast called Practical Leadership, and in his latest episode last week, he talks about stakeholders. We appreciate the shout out, Joe. I will include a link in the program notes. From Justin, Paige, and myself here in Omaha, Nebraska, we want to say thank you again for listening. Safe travels if you're flying soon with the holidays, and we'll see you again soon on the Exit Row. Buon viaggio.